Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I'm live from my Beehive studio this morning. And this is the third week that I'm doing feature products on my blog each week. The reason I'm doing it this way now is because have you ever gotten a stamp set or a bundle or a product, a crafting product, and you get it and it sits on the shelf? Or you get it and you use it once and you never use it again. So the theory behind this is that you get a product and you focus on it all week. So you really immerse yourself in that product. You really get a chance to play with the product. I've got all the stamps from this week's bundle mounted on all my blocks, and I keep them on my blocks all during the week, and I just focus on that one bundle. So this week's bundle is the Bouquet Blooms Bundle, and I love this bundle because it has a fancy fold element to it. And I know Stampin' Up did a video, which I think they pulled. I think it didn't explain how to do the gatefold properly. I never actually got to see that video, but I played around with it. And as you know, I love 3D, I love measurements, and I'm usually able to figure things out. I love actually figuring things out because that's kind of the fun of it. It's like, oh, can I solve this problem? So I played with it and I figured out the best way to do the gatefold. And I won't be doing that today, but I'll be doing it later in the week. I've got a cool 3D project later in the week. Tomorrow's Casing Tuesday card is featuring this bundle. So all this week, it's gonna be bouquet blooms all the time. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I am going to talk about the bundle and what I found out so far, and I hope you'll stick with me. And I will post this on my blog a little bit later, and if you want to refer back to it, just look for the link in the description of this video. I've also got links to the products that I'm going to be talking about today, well, the main ones in the description, and all of the ones from the card will be on my blog. So thank you everyone so far who's joined me, and I'm going to turn the camera around. Just give me a second. All right, today it's kind of gray skies right now, but I'm hoping that we'll get a little sunshine later on. So here's the bundle. So this is the stamp set and the framelits, and this is one time where I played with this, and I think these two pieces need to go together. I think they really complement each other, and I think they're better together. The nice thing about this is if you're in the US, this bundle is less than $40. So that's a nice price point to get. And you can do a lot of different things with it besides using the gatefold element, but that's kind of the really fun element of this stamp set, because there are a lot of floral stamp sets out there, but the gatefold element is what sets this piece apart. So what I start to do when I get the bundle for the week, when I've decided which bundle or which product I'm going to feature, I go ahead and I do kind of a basic stamping with it. So I started off and I stamped all the stamps in this stamp set. So just to kind of go over that, there are 4 greetings. I like each of them because they're really useful greetings, ones that I actually will use regularly, like friend, happy for you, thanks, and you're the best. Those are really nice kind of general happy greetings, which is cool. Then let's look at the florals. You've got this big floral piece, and then you've got these 5 stamps. Now I'm counting correctly. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 2 flowers are on the same stamp because that will allow you to use the die. Let me bring that to you. This little die right here cuts both of them at the same time. And I love that Stampin' Up is doing this more for the itty bitty tiny pieces because, you know, we really don't want to have to stamp those a lot of times. So this just makes our stamping and die cutting a little faster. Then there is this leaf element here. you've got a circle, and you've got these two little elements down here. And you know what? These are things that I typically forget to use. So I noticed on the Stampin' Up sample card, because I also created the sample cards in the catalog, that they used it on the inside of the card. Look at this little element when it's stamped right along the bottom of the card. This is on the inside of the card. Doesn't that look cool? I really think we need to use those elements more because they add that little extra into our projects. What else can I tell you about this? Okay, let me talk about this circular element. So there's no dies in the die set, which is called the Gateful Blossoms Framelits, that cuts this out, but we do have the layering circle framelits and the stitch shapes framelits. So I just wanted to show you some different ways you could cut those out if you have those sets. So first of all, let's look at the layering framelits. Layering, what are they called? Stitch shapes framelits. Okay, so on the back you can see this little stitching right here. So this stitching follows right along the little green stitching that is on the circle. So you can barely see it, but it's there. If you compare it with this one, you can see it looks just a little bit different. It's just a hint. So this stitched shapes framelits, the largest circle, will cut out this circle perfectly. This one is done with just the layering circles framelits, and on this one I left a little white space because there's a whole bunch of nesting circles, so you can choose how far away you want to cut the circle. This one is the largest circle that cuts the outside, and then I used one of the smaller circles for the inside. This kind of looks like a wreath, or I guess it could also, if you stamp it in yellow, it could look a little bit like a sunshine. So I like that a lot. Then I did, let me move this out of the way so you can see a little better. I also cut this out a little closer, so I cut off a bit of the edge and I got to the inside. So that's a little bit different look. If you were to, I need something that's a little bit, you can hold it up to see how those two look just a little bit different. So that's kind of cool that you can have that different look with those, that circle. Okay, and now the framelits. So I stamped all of the images that had a framelit, and then I cut them out. So let's talk about this one right at the top right here. So if you look at it, it's got greenery and it's got flowers. So on first glance you're going to be like, I'm going to have to like individual marker all of those pieces. That's going to be a pain. But guess what? All of these flowers are represented in this floral bouquet. So if I just lift this off for a moment, this flower will cover up this flower. This flower right here covers up this flower. So you can theoretically stamp them in all different colors and layer them up into different colors. So that's kind of nice. All the flowers in here have a matching die cut flower. So that's really cool. Then let's take a look at this bottom piece right here. This is the gatefold. So it comes in two pieces, as you can see right here. And I haven't actually created the card that goes with this, but I just wanted to show you what it cuts out. It cuts out a shape like this, and it cuts out a shape like that. And the idea is when you bring the card together, these two pieces lock together and hold down your gatefold. And then you can use the little elements, like this little flower covers up this little piece perfectly. And that's why I say this is a really good one to get the stamp set with, because this gives you a little bit more detail for a flower than if you would just cut out a flower using this framelit. So it's nice that you have that extra dimension that you can use to create with that. And then you can decorate it up using the other pieces of your stamp set. So that is that element. So let me show you some samples. Let me see if let me look at my little notes to make sure. Okay, I covered everything that I was going to cover. Okay, let me show you the samples. These are right out of the catalog because I always like to do that first, because why reinvent the wheel? Let's see first of all what the Stampin' Up! Designers did. So this is a simple card it doesn't use any of the gatefold elements, but it uses the circular element as a wreath. And then you've got this bigger shape right here that is stamped and die cut behind there. And then all the flowers are stamped and cut separately and layered on there. There's a little banner right here, a little bit of twine right here. And the leaf stamp, which stamps this little image right here, is used right along the base layer, just tone on tone, crumb cake on crumb cake, to create that a little bit of texture on the edge right there. So that's the first card that was in the catalog. And then this card right here is the gatefold card that was in the catalog. And so the idea is these pieces just kind of come in here and they lock like this to create this locking element for the card. So I will show you how to do this element later on in the week, this gatefold card. I'll show you some different options that you can do with this same gatefold. I also will have a 3D to show you. So those are the two sample cards. I think they're kind of pretty, even though I didn't create them. It was fun to kind of just try them out. Oh, just one thing about this card. This piece in the catalog was actually using a wood element. It's an embellishment. So I didn't have those, so I just took a layering square framelit, and I just took a little piece of the largest edge, and I just edged that underneath there to give that somewhat of a similar look that they had to what was in the catalog. So that's probably the only thing that you might not know what that is. So those are the pieces of this bundle. And let me turn this around real quick, make sure there's no questions. No questions? Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed my intro, and I'm going to be doing different projects all this week featuring this bundle. So make sure you check back. I'll be doing a combination of live videos and already recorded videos. So you'll get to see different things all this week. And if you have any questions about this bundle, be sure to post them below or post them to my blog or to my YouTube channel, whichever medium you're using to watch this. Just send me a question and I will do my best to answer it. So I hope you guys all have a great week, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.